So we were paying $7.10 a week. They wanted to put up to $8.90 a week.
I'm currently paying $670 a week. My rent is going to go up to $850 per week.
Our rent is $680 a week. It's going up to $780.
I don't even know what's happening with these rental prices in Sydney right now.
The Australian rental market is in crisis.
In Australia's capital cities, tenants have been hit with the biggest rent increases on record.
What a start to my weekend. Listen, Sydney, what's going on, man?
A $350 per week rental increase.
Before the pandemic, rents were rising on about 25% of properties each year in the capital cities. That's now jumped to nearly 75%. The increases are being blamed on a whole lot of different factors, but we wanted to find out how renters are coping.
Essentially fallen off its hinges. It's kind of rotting through. Things like the gutter rusting, you would assume might be a priority. And then there's areas like our entrance hallway where the mold damage is really visible.
Jack Butler has lived in this house in Sydney's inner west for the past 3 years. He's dealt with ongoing problems like mould, but says as a renter, he generally tries to lay low.
Historically, I felt that in a lot of Sydney rentals, if you don't cause too much fuss with the landlord, that's a way of ensuring your rent doesn't increase significantly. And that just doesn't seem to be the case at the moment.
Is that the driver? What does he do? Toot toot.
Jack was expecting a rent increase. But in the face of a 15% jump, he and his partner Tess may abandon the rental market altogether by downsizing into an apartment further out.
At any given moment, we can just be uprooted and moved out, or rental increases can go up a significant amount. And it's a shame because this is our home.
Inner city Sydney renter Sophie Saville offered to pay $20 a week more than the asking price to secure her apartment a year ago.
Once we got it, I was, over the moon, obviously, and I didn't have to be out there in the bin fire of the rental market.
But 8 months into her 12-month lease, she was given notice that her rent would go up 25% if she wanted to renew.
We were also quite shocked because we had offered more. We didn't expect such a massive increase. But we were able to negotiate to $850, which is still a 20% increase. So this is my bedroom.
To cover that, they had to find a third person to move into what was meant to be a 2-tenant household.
In many ways, the situation we have is not great. We've made it work for us, and we're really fortunate that we've made it work for us, but also we've done it kind of illegally.
Akshat Seth is also renting in the inner city, but today he's looking for cheaper options in Western Sydney.
So it's not a bad house, it's a decent house. Small bedrooms though.
His days off are filled with house inspections after he received notice of a 26% rent increase.
This is listed at about $700 per week. So I've got about 4 lined up today, and for the weekend we've got another 10. I think the rental market in Sydney at the moment is really chaotic.
Net migration is set to increase by 400,000 people this financial year. Politicians are arguing about how the housing market will absorb the increase, while migrants like Akshat are already struggling to find affordable properties.
It wasn't this bad even a couple of years ago. It's only in the last year and a half where the situation has become this bad.
Back to property number 8. This was literally probably at the around 2-year mark.
On the other side of the market, investor Dilleen is building a rental empire.
I got very passionate about property investing from an extremely young age. Believe it or not, I actually grew up with a single mother on a pension in Housing Commission, so literally started from the bottom.
Houses, duplexes, townhouses, started off with a 2-bedroom unit.
So I own 78 properties in total, and I rent out 77 properties that are rented for less than what I could be getting.
The 31-year-old says he has put up rents by 10 to 15% on average in the last year. He says he could charge more, but doesn't want to risk vacancies, and that interest rate rises haven't put pressure on him so far. If those interest rate increases, though, haven't affected you, why put rents up?
So with the rents, again, like these rents mainly have only gone up because the property went vacant. Like all those ones when the property went vacant, as an example, the market was already at that price point. It's a family of 6 people because it's obviously a 6-bedroom house.
He's also put the rent up on existing tenants in properties like this one, which has gone up by $80 a week.
You could potentially put like a duplex on it or redevelop it down the track. We are right now in Western Sydney in South Wentworthville around like Parramatta. Picked up this property about 5 years ago, rented at $730 per week. That's less than what I could be getting as well, but they're really good tenants, so I want to keep them happy and keep them in there and have a win-win situation for everybody.
Just how much landlords should be able to raise rent has become a political battle.
With a fully fledged rental crisis gripping millions of people around the country who need help right now,
the Greens are pushing for rent freezes, but the federal Labor government says that's not a matter for the Commonwealth.
One of the things that I won't do is promise absolute pixie dust.
New South Wales Premier Chris Minns has ruled out rent freezes or caps on increases.
Every bit of international research and most economists agree that if you pursue that and do it at scale, you'll put massive pressure on supply.
The Premier has ordered ministers to urgently identify land that can be rezoned for housing. But as governments look for long-term policy solutions, renters say they need interventions now.
It's got to be something they have to do because the pressure is it's mounting and there seems to be no way out.